are brand new, those of you who are watching it on YouTube, come join us in the locker room. The locker room is the only place where you can get this live interaction. Talk to me, ask questions. My name is Margie Remmers-Davis. I'm the founder and CEO of Acadian Accounting Education. And every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern, we gather together inside the QBO Gym locker room. This is your spot for hands-on practice using QuickBooks Online. It is a free Facebook group, and you get so much free stuff by being a part of the locker room. This is your spot for hands-on practice using QuickBooks Online. That's what we do. Hands-on practice, hands-on practice, hands-on practice. We believe that you cannot learn how to ride a bicycle by watching a YouTube video. So everything that we do is you learn it and then you actually do it. So to help you along your journey, we've got some cool free stuff by being a member of the locker room. Number one is you get a free QBO QuickStart course. So this course teaches you all about the QuickBooks Online accountant account, how it is different than a regular account that business owners subscribe to, how it all works, how to navigate it, workflow, terminology, and of course, hands-on practice actually using it. So if you're new, this course was emailed to you. That's why we ask you for your email when you register. It was emailed to you, but you have to set up an account to access it. So if you did not receive the email with instructions on how to access your course, then reach out to us at support@acadian.com. That's AKADIAN. And we'll get you squared away. It's all sorts of things like happen all the time when, like people type in their email address wrong, or like we copy it wrong, or you sign up under one email and you look under a different email. Like that kind of stuff happens all the time. So reach out to us. We'll dive in and we'll figure it out and make sure you get that free course. Also, as a member of the locker room, you get over 100 free exercises. We've got a lot of exercises. We might have close to 200 by now. I don't know. I think it's at least 150 now. The people are always asking, how do I get my free exercises? Well, guess what? They were emailed to you, but you can also get them inside the locker room. If you go to the featured section, so you can click on the featured tab here, or there's a featured tile. If you're on your phone, sometimes you have to click the little hamburger in the upper left-hand corner to access it, but you want to go to the featured section, and you see that there is a tile right here that says, welcome to the locker room, and over 100 free hands-on exercises. So the link to get to the exercises is right there. It does take, I'm told, sometimes it takes a minute to load because there are so many exercises in there. It does take a minute to load, so just be patient, and we're going to have to fix that. I have been saying that now for a couple of weeks, so we need to get on that. We need to get on that, fixing that so that it is, we might I'm thinking of having it be in different sections so it's not loading everything at once, but yeah, we got to figure that out. So that's how you get your free exercises. Also, you get to obviously participate live with our free class, our locker room live stream, whatever we're calling it, Fridays at 11 a.m. Eastern. And during this time, we're going to be going over together a free exercise of the week. The exercise of the week comes from one of our paid courses. So everything I've talked about so far, free Facebook group, free course, free exercises, free live stream, free. But we do have a free course called the QBO Gym. So Facebook group is the locker room. That's where we hang out. And the QBO Gym is where we actually work out. The QBO Gym is, oh, whoa, that is gigantic. The QBO Gym is it's a subscription product, and it is an opportunity for you to practice being a bookkeeper. So all of the exercises, you can go in, you can do all of the exercises just one-off, individual, learn this feature, learn that feature, okay? But the QBO Gym allows you to actually experience being a bookkeeper from the moment you sit down to work on your fictitious client's books until you close it out each month. You get to process bank feeds, you get to send invoices, receive payments. Every month you learn a new skill. We call that strength training. And then at the end of the month, you run reports, you reconcile first, and then you run reports. So it's really it was designed to answer the question, how do I get experience if I can't get a job? I can't get a job without experience. Okay, so if you have ever wished that you could be an intern and just to kind of see what bookkeeping is like, if you wanted to shadow another bookkeeper. Last night on the call, we had somebody ask like, oh, can I just work for an accountant for free? Well, not for free, but this is the point of the QBO Gym. So it's an opportunity. You get to work for this client for an entire year. And when I say year, I'm not talking about a calendar year. I'm talking about like a year's worth of transactions. It takes about 42 real-time hours to get a year's worth of experience. So each month's worth of content takes about 3 to 4 hours to complete, which is normal for a smallish client. And at the end, you get a certificate saying, and then you can move on if you want. You can move on to year 2, which is more challenging, but you can also do that and get a certificate. You can have 2 years of experience. So Lindsay has put the link to the QBO Gym if you want to check that out. Sign up for it. You can also, if you want to just try it out and see what it's like, you can also do our 5-day gym challenge, which gives you the opportunity to do the first month for free. So you can do the first month for free, just kind of see what it's like, and get that experience under your belt. Okay. So everything that you do in the gym is connected to your Booksmatch profile, and Booksmatch is our proprietary dashboard. So you can everything that you do, the skills that you are learning and reinforcing are tracked, and you can see this is so Marianne is our winner for the week, and she's our top person, and this is not for the week, but this is like at this moment. So at the end of this live stream, somebody else might be, because it's always changing. But at this moment, so Marianne is number 5, or is number 1, and here's how we calculate that. So, the first, well, let me just say we separate all of the skills that you're learning in the QBO Gym into these 10 skill groups, and you can click on any skill group to drill down and find out more like what exactly you were working on. And then this one is the group comparison, so you can see where you are in relation to everybody else in the pool. And we track, I mentioned that Marianne at this moment is ranked number 1, and we rank them by looking at these 3 different metrics. And Holly's asking, is it, wow, her speed. Holy cow! Oh my gosh. There might be dang. Dang. Okay, so let me explain what we're looking at here. So we track 3 specific metrics. The first one is knowledge. Knowledge covers the breadth of skills that she has, that a given person has learned. So, and that's all time since they've been in the gym. Okay, so all of her skills totaled up equal 541. Okay, then the second metric is speed. And the reason we have this speed metric, is not about how fast you can get through an exercise, but how many skills you can accumulate in a week. So, holy cow. So Marianne, it looks like she did like an entire year. She did the entire year in 1 week. That's pretty much what it looks that's pretty much what it looks like. So, dang. I mean, it's possible. Like I said, it's only 42 real-time hours, but yeah, I mean, she was like kicking butt to get that experience. That's amazing. But anyways, usually they're like double digits. So I don't think that I've ever seen a triple digit speed, and have I seen certainly 500. Either there is something wrong with our metric, which that could be like, maybe I need to go into the developers, or holy Hannah, Marianne was just super kicking butt. So anyway, let's see. Oh, she requested her email. Oh, that's what happened. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. So this was this. So this is a little inflated momentarily, just because we had to do some internal stuff in the background. That's what Lindsay's telling me. So, yeah. Okay. All right. Makes a lot more sense. All right. So anyway, so that's speed. The reason that we have speed, by the way, the reason we measure speed, again, it's not how fast you can get through an exercise, but how many skills you can accumulate in a week. And that is, the reason we have that is because we don't want to leave behind the people who are brand new. So, if you've been here around for a while, the 2 or 3 years that we've had the QBO Gym available, you're naturally going to have a lot of skill points. And so we want to balance, we don't want you to overshadow the people who are brand new but kicking butt. Okay, so if you're brand new, then we want to give you extra points and weight for like how quickly you're getting through it. So that's what the speed is. The most important metric, though, of all of these is consistency. Consistency, we want to know, the reason that we came up with this is a recruiter helped us design this, and she used to say that, or she told us that her biggest frustration was calling people in her job previously, was calling people who were no longer looking for work, who got another job or decided not to do the thing, whatever. And she said that she wasted so much time. Calling people that just weren't available. She said she wanted actually us to have like a little checkbox where you could say, yes, I'm still looking. Yes, I'm still looking. She wanted us to have you check this box every week. Yes, I'm still looking. Yes, I'm still looking. And we said, well, every week seems a little excessive, so we made it every 2 weeks. And we said, well, instead of having them just check a box, why don't we have them do an exercise? And so that's how the exercise of the week was born. So this is actually the highest consistency. Now you can, when you're in your Booksmatch profile, somewhere up here above or next to your name, there's a little slider that says open to work. So if you have that turned on, and this is only for subscribed members, but if you have that turned on, that means that you are discoverable by a recruiter who would come into our Booksmatch platform looking for talent, looking for people who, to hire, either as they're a business owner that are looking for somebody, or somebody who is hiring for like a recruiter person or an accounting firm. We just had some team members earlier this week attend an accounting conference and talk all about this and show this. So Yeah, so that is Booksmatch. But the important thing is the exercise of the week, which is why we're here today. So the exercise of the week, for those of you who are subscribed to the gym, is actually a separate course in your dashboard, okay? And that course is only unlocked when you have 250 points. Now, the points are not the same as the skills, because sometimes there are multiple skills. So if you go into your gym and you go to the bottom, there's a little arrow here, and you click that, you can see how many points you have accumulated as you're going through. I should have mentioned, I always forget to say this, that the gym is fully gamified. So it's like, well, I had somebody say it's like going to a casino and winning, because you're like clicking. My vision for it when we created it was that it was Duolingo for bookkeepers. So you like get points, and there's dings and celebrations, woohoo, and badges and all that good stuff. So that's how you know how many points you have. So if you have accumulated 250 points, then you will you'll see this in your dashboard. You'll see this new course in your dashboard, and you can go through that. If you are subscribed and it's unlocked, you want to make sure that that you use the link that's inside the gym. Okay, so Lindsay's going to drop the link for anybody who is not subscribed. This is your reward for joining us here live. As you get the link, we're going to go through it together, but that link is only for the people who are not in the gym. If you are in the gym, the only way you get those skill points is to use the link that's in here. Okay. All right, so with all of that said, let's go ahead and get started. So today we are going to be talking about undeposited funds. And this is a topic that is tested on the Level 1 Pro Advisor certification. So all of our live streams follow a pattern. So at the beginning of the month, we start with basic foundational accounting skills. And then week 2 is level 2. Next week, week 3, we always try and do some kind of specialty niche training. We're trying to set that up for next week. Crossing fingers, like I'm always like talking to people to try and like bring in, some expertise in that area. So hopefully next week will be a niche training. I can't announce what it will be until I've confirmed that we're going to do this. And then the 4th week is a level 2 topic from the Pro Advisor certification. And then on the months that we have a 5th week and 5th Friday, and this month we do, it is a cleanup. Corey Jankowski, who teaches our cleanup course, is our special guest presenter, and she'll be here going through a cleanup exercise. So that's kind of the schedule. So today we're going to be talking about undeposited funds. So click the link in if you have the gym in your thing. If you don't have the gym, click it in the chat that Lindsay dropped. Okay. All right. So again, this is a more basic topic, but it's something that you guys have to really wrap your head around and understand how this works in QuickBooks Online. This is a huge problem for business owners. So many business owners do not understand how this works. And I don't know what Corey has planned on Friday, but undeposited funds is like a main thing. It's a main thing in cleanups. So we need to understand what undeposited funds are and how they get cleaned out. Today we're going to be talking both. The exercise specifically is how to clean out undeposited funds the correct way, but For those of you who are new, I'm a little bit extra. So, so we're gonna go deep in some of this stuff. Okay, so we have the exercise up, and we're going to start in the sample company now. These exercises, the ones for the Pro Advisor, assume that you have an accountant version of the QuickBooks Online. Again, your QBO QuickStart course will teach you how to get that account, what makes it different from other, the regular account. Anyway, so we're gonna teach you that. Inside your QBOA account, if you click the gear icon, there is an option that says sample company. If you don't see that, it means you're not in an accountant account, okay? Now, what we're going to teach you today is we actually created a little quick link called Acadian. You can go to acadian.com/QBOA. Lindsay will put that in the chat also. And this will automatically open the sample company where we do all of our practice. Okay? You know what? This morning, when I was working on this, you know how sometimes when you do the verification, it gives you the pictures, and you have to click the pictures that match. I went through that. I guess I failed. I failed 5 times in a row. I was sure that it was going to say, you're locked out, you're clearly a robot. Only humans can do it. Because for some reason, I could not pass that dang thing. I did it 5 times, and it kept giving me another one. So, anyway. All right. Lindsay, I'm glad to hear that has happened to you too. All right, so here is the sample company. You can tell that we're in the sample company because it says right up here, sample company, okay? So now I'm in the sample company. Here is my exercise. And the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna look at the balance sheet, and we're gonna talk about undeposited funds, why we see it there, where it came from. And here is our first instruction. On the left navigation bar, hover over reports and click standard reports. Now you'll notice that on my screen, I have a little button that says guide me, okay? I have that button. All of our exercises are created using a software called Scribe. And Scribe has a Google extension that you can download. If you go to your Google extensions, manage extensions, go to the Chrome store, you can go to this. It looks like this. This is the little icon. It says Scribe, AI documentation, etc. Okay, and when you have that installed, then that's when you see this little Guide Me button. So I'm going to click Guide Me. And then I have to click confirm. So when I have the sample company open and I have the Google Chrome extension, then it will magically put the exercise, the sample company, and the exercise right side by side. Lindsay, there is a link in there. We have an exercise that actually shows you how to download and install. There you go. How to use the side panel. So you have instructions on that too. So if you ever need to know how to do our exercises and how we do this magic on our live streams. Okay. All right. So going back, so now we can see, so we're going to take a look at the balance sheet because the undeposited funds is on the balance sheet. So we're going to go to, on the left nav bar, hover over reports and click standard reports, standard reports, click balance sheet. All right, so here is our balance sheet, and if you're brand new, don't worry, there's we have exercises and courses and all the stuff that can like help you get up to speed. But the undeposited funds right here is an other current asset, okay? Assets are things that you own, and current assets are things that you own temporarily, okay? So this account, this undeposited funds account, is only supposed to be used temporarily. So what happens is, because people don't know how to use it correctly, then it just gets full and full and full and full and full, and you could see hundreds of thousands of dollars in undeposited funds, which makes it look to the owner like they've got all this money. Like, why do I have all this money, right? So undeposited funds is a temporary account that you are supposed to use only when you receive cash and checks and you're holding on to them before you deposit them in the bank. So you think of it like one of those, those money envelopes, or like the drawer, like wherever when you receive cash and checks, you like put it in a place before you go and deposit it. And when you deposit it all together. You typically don't deposit one thing and then another thing and then another thing, okay? So it's this place for grouping. So what happens is, when you receive cash or checks, it goes in this temporary place, and then when you go to the bank, you or the business owner goes to the bank, they deposit all of that together, okay? And that's the piece that people, that the business owners or other bookkeepers fail to do, is that deposit piece. That's how it comes out of undeposited funds. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to go record the deposit. Okay, so to record the deposit, use a bank deposit transaction. So we're going to go to plus new, and we're going to go to bank deposit. Okay, that's step 5. Okay, now as you can see here, there are currently 2 payments in the undeposited funds. Okay, so that means that there were 2 transactions where we received cash or checks, and you can look at them in more detail by clicking on them. So I'm going to click on Cool Cars so you can see. That's their step 6. Okay, so now what are we looking at? Well, we're looking at a receive payment. So there was an invoice. So we had sent an invoice for, this was invoice 1004. Okay, that's the invoice number. We sent an invoice to Cool Cars. They paid us, and the bookkeeper didn't record how it was paid, but they paid us. And when they paid us, it should be, if it was cash or checks, because it hasn't gone into the bank yet, it's in this temporary holding place, it goes to undeposited funds right here. Okay, and this is the default for everything, so you want to make sure and check that. Okay, so I'm going to exit out of here, and then we're going to go back again, do the deposit again. So plus new, bank deposit. Okay, so here we are. So we were just looking at the Cool Cars, but if we looked at this Freeman Sporting Goods one, these are both payments on invoices with the deposit too. Now, I'm going to exit out. This is not part of the exercise. It's just because I'm extra. I want to just point out for a second that a sales receipt would have the same thing. So if I go to a sales receipt, remember that a sales receipt is payment at the time of the sale. Okay, so I sold you a pen. Here's my pen. You gave me money for it. Boom, I have the money. That's payment at the time of the sale. Okay, an invoice is a delayed payment. So I sold you something, and then I said, okay, I'll send you an invoice. I send you an invoice. Now you have 30 days to pay. 30 days later, you send me the payment for that thing. Okay, so that's when you use a payment with, or that's when you use an invoice, when there's a delayed payment. But a sales receipt, you get payment at the time. So for a sales receipt, that deposit to is right on the deposit to. Okay. So if you sold something and got the cash or checks, then you're going to put it in undeposited funds to then deposit later. Okay. We have talked, there's other, this is a form of a clearing account. And if you have, we did a whole thing on clearing accounts a couple weeks ago, so you could find that on YouTube. If you want to find out more about clearing accounts, especially like PayPal or Venmo, anything that you get the payment and then they take out a portion and then you deposit not the full amount but the amount minus their fee. Anyway, but that's a different thing. All right, so here we are. I'm going to go back to my bank deposit so we're all caught up. Okay. All right. So we've got these 2 checks that Craig is going to deposit. Okay. The first thing you want to pay attention to is the account that they're going to. You want to make sure that if he's depositing them in the checking account, that you mark here that he's the deposit. If they're going to the savings account, you want to make sure and mark and select savings. Okay, this is super important because when it comes to reconciling at the end of the month, you're going to look at what the bank has, you're going to look at what QBO has, and you want them to match. Okay, so if you deposit it in one place but you marked it in another place, then that's going to be a problem. Okay, so you're not gonna find it. That's like a big thing if you're looking for, like, where did this deposit? I know I deposited this money. Where is it? It's one of the things is it may have gone to the wrong account. Okay. All right. So that's paying attention to the account. Now we're going to check this box, and that will check both of them. Notice it puts the total here, and then we're going to save and close. All right, now let's take a look at the transaction journal. So the transaction journal is the under the hood recording of what just happened in the software. Okay, so it is crucial that you understand what actually is happening when you're clicking all of these buttons in QBO. You shouldn't just be clicking them to click them. You need to know what actually is happening under the hood. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Okay, so we are going to, the first thing we have to do is find that deposit. Now your screen might look a little bit different, but there is a little magnifying glass here. One of the versions of the sample company that I was doing with, there was no magnifying glass. There was only, can you see right here, like the magnifying glass here, and then there's also this search box. So when I captured this exercise, there were 2 of them, but then later I went and this one was not there. So anyway, you would just want to look, and you're going to just search for the transactions. And this will tell you the recent transactions you did. So we just did that deposit. So this is going to be in your recent transactions list. And you can see it right here. This is the deposit that we just did. So I'm going to click on that. And now I'm going to click on More and select Transaction Journal. Okay, and I'm going to close this just so we have some more space. And so you can see that what has happened was it debited the checking account and it credited the undeposited funds account. Now, if this is confusing to you because you think to yourself, wait a minute, there's more money in the checking account because I just deposited it. Why is it debit? Well, we're going to talk about that a little bit. I'm not going to go through my full debits and credits presentation. I do that sometimes on the call. It's absolutely in the, did my screen just disappear? Sorry, guys. It's in our fast track course. That's where we go over, the debits and credits. If debits and credits have ever been a thing that you struggled with and could not wrap your head around, then the fast track is where you learn that. Like, you learn it cold. I can't see the chat right now, but I assume that people are talking about it because it is like the thing. Oh, no, nobody is. Okay. Like, this is the way to fully understand debits and credits. It's like going to my whole thing. Okay. But what we're going to talk about this just a little bit. All right. Hopefully you guys can. Oh, not yet. Okay. All right. So, okay, here we go. I guess, is that big enough here? I'm just going to make it a little bigger. Okay. All right. So, debits and credits. We have debits on the left-hand side. We have credits on the right-hand side. And there are certain accounts that live on the left-hand side, and there are certain accounts that live on the right-hand side. Whenever you add something to one side, you always have to add it to another thing on the other side, okay? So we have just put money on the debit side. The checking, all assets live on the left-hand side. They are assets are, all right, I guess maybe I should have gone through my whole thing. I was thinking I could just shortcut it, but but maybe I can't. Okay, so on the right-hand side, the credits, okay, those are the places money comes from, and on the left-hand side, the debits, that's the destination or the places money goes. Okay, so on the left-hand side, that's the destination. The debits are the destination, so it's either going to go to an asset account, it's going to go to an expense account, or it's going to go back to the owners as a distribution or dividend. Okay, so that's what lives on the left-hand side. So when we put money on the left-hand side, which we just did, we put money on the checking account, we have to add something over on the right-hand side. And even if that's an account that normally lives on the left, we're going to put it on the right because it's going to balance out. But here's the thing about undeposited funds, okay? Undeposited funds is not new money that we have. This is not, you didn't just make a sale. I mean, when we're talking about this transaction, undeposited funds to deposit, it's just going from asset to asset. So you don't have more money now than you did before. It's just that you had it in one place and now you're putting it in another place. Okay. So I have a different little animation and it disappears. Oh, there it goes. All right. I worked very hard on that this morning, guys. Okay. So we will, we're going to take a look at it actually in the, we're going to take a look at it in the reports. All right. So, Lindsay Roberts, you are always so encouraging. Thank you. Okay. So, you need to understand. So, we added the money to the debit. The checking account is an asset. It lives on the debit side. When you add to it, well, it goes that direction. Okay. Now, we have the undeposited funds. It's also an asset, but now there's less money in it. So now it's come on the other side to balance us out, okay? And we're going to see this in the balance sheet. So let's take a look at the balance sheet. I'm going to open up my thing again. Go to reports and standard reports. We're going to click balance sheet. I'm going to close this just so we have some more space. Okay. And notice now undeposited funds is empty and that money is now in the checking account. So it has just moved from one asset to another asset. Okay. What happens, the mistake that business owners make is they receive the stuff, they add the money to undeposited funds, but they don't take it out and record the deposit correctly of saying, okay, this is what was included in that deposit. Outside, so the exercise is over. I'm going to go ahead and close it. But let me show you one other thing. If I go to my bank transactions, and you can see here, this one is a deposit. I can click on, okay, let's just remind ourselves what we're looking at here. Okay, so bank transactions are an opportunity for you to match what's happening at the bank to what's happening in QuickBooks Online. Okay, so what you're seeing here is primarily bank transactions, but then QuickBooks will give suggestions and it'll say, I think that it matches this transaction in quote. I see this at the bank. I think that it's going to match this transaction in QuickBooks Online. Okay. So at the bank level, it sees, oh, there's a deposit for $868.15. Oh, well, there's actually also in QuickBooks, there's also a deposit for $868.15. Okay, so I think that that's a match, and you can click on it, and then you can click deposit right here. Says, oh, I think this is the right match. I can click on the deposit, and I can see what checks and cash and checks were included in that deposit. How did it get to that total? These are the payments that we received that we then deposited. Okay, so what happens is that they deposit, maybe they'll use like a sales receipt to indicate that they got money and they deposited it, and they never pulled it out of undeposited funds. Let me show you one other thing. Again, not in the report. It's just because not in the exercise, just because I'm extra. All right, I'm going to go to, didn't I pull up reports? I thought I did. Okay, reports, balance sheet. So when you're on the balance sheet, you can click any of these numbers to find out what makes up those numbers, to find out the history. Now, the current version of modern reports just has a dash there instead of a 0. So I actually have to change my, not the display, the general options. Says don't show 0 amounts. I have to uncheck that. For those of you who are brand new, Intuit is in the process of changing so much, but they're changing in particular how reports work. So sometimes when you go in, it'll be this modern view report, and sometimes it'll be what we call the classic view report, and you can switch between the two right here. So what you see on your screen right now might be slightly different. You might have the 0 there and not have to go to general options to turn it on. Okay, but now that I have the 0 there, I can actually click on it and I can see all the money that came in and out of that account. Okay, so this is that huge list, and here is, these two are the ones that I just did just now. Okay, so it was, even though it was one deposit, it's showing, like, remember how we looked at the transaction journal and it showed them as separate entries because those are individual, they represent individual payments. Okay, so all right, Margie, did you notice the report? Yes. So I'll show that. So yeah, Intuit has added this little icon right here that tells you whether the report is going to launch in Modern View or not. Okay, so like the balance sheet detail, that's going to be a classic view. This one is, yeah, I don't know why they're using this icon. It used to be like a magic wand and it said, you know, new enhanced modern view or something like that. It was much prettier than this little paper thing. So yes. Okay. All right. So that is our exercise today, but we are still not done because as part of the QBO Gym, you also get marketing prompts. And for those of you who were on the call last night, this is going to be like particularly meaningful. Okay. So with the QBO Gym, I'm going to take off my screen share and just talk to you for a second. Stop share. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Uyi says it was the paper thing that got my attention. Not the magic wand never did. I don't know. I think the magic wand is prettier, but anyway, let's see. I mean, what else did I miss? Oh, Ellen says, I haven't gotten very far in the fast track, but it is so eye-opening. Oh, that's excellent. I'm so glad to hear. And then there's some talk about the debits and credits. Lindsay says, wait till you get to debits and credits. It's good stuff. Ellen says, I can't wait to get there, but what I've done so far sure helped get a new client set up correctly. Awesome. All righty. So that is fantastic. Okay, so let's talk about marketing prompts. We are not a marketing company. You've heard me say this. If you were on the call last night, you heard me say this over and over. If you've been in the group, you heard me say this over and over. We're not a marketing company. We are an accounting education company. And my goal is to create, our company goal is to create bookkeepers who are so good, so head and shoulders above everybody else that employers don't want to work with anybody else. That they insist on an Acadian graduate. That's how good we want you to be. Okay? So our total focus is to make you the best possible bookkeeper you can be, the most helpful to the business owner, the partner to the accountant. Okay, that's what we're doing here that's our mission here at Acadian. Okay, but we recognize that so many of you just really want to be freelancers and really want to build your own business, and it's really hard. It's really hard for us to stay focused on the education when your voices are so loud that you want help with the marketing stuff. That's why we had the conversation with Mike, who does the marketing for Acadian, for us, our company. We had this conversation and he said, oh, I could teach marketing. I could teach them marketing. So we still don't want to be a marketing company. We still have no plans of being a marketing company, but Mike is just so good out of the, the generousness of his soul. He's like, yeah, I mean, he's also an educator at heart. He's, he wants to teach this. That's why we did the call last night. And that's why we're going to have more of them, because I know you guys are so hungry for it. But it doesn't, like he tried to say this last night and I don't know how well we communicated it, but you can be the best marketer in the world. But if you're not a good bookkeeper, it doesn't do you any good, okay? I guess the same is true if you could be the best bookkeeper in the world, and if you can't market your services, it doesn't do you any good either. So like there is a case for both of them. Anyway, so when we created the QBO Gym, I just kept hearing people say, I know I'm supposed to post on social media, but I don't know what to say. And I kept thinking, how do you not know what to say? You learn something every day. Every day that you're in the gym, you are learning something. And so after it had been out for a couple of months, I said, you know what? I'm just going to create marketing prompts for talking about what you just learned. That's really what it is. Like, you have to establish yourself as you have to tell people that you're a bookkeeper. Okay. Mike said last night, people have to know that you exist and to know that you're a bookkeeper. Okay, so that's really what it is. And then once they know that you exist and that you're a bookkeeper, you have to have a level of expertise. You have to demonstrate some expertise. And so that's why we offer marketing prompts as a way to help you demonstrate your expertise to the world. So in the gym, you actually earn marketing prompts. So as you learn a thing, you then unlock, okay, here's how you can talk about what you just learned, okay? And then you learn another thing, and then it unlocks, oh, here's how you just learned this. Now you can talk about, here's how you can talk about that. With the exercise of the week, we actually give you a marketing prompt for every exercise. Here's a sample post, QBO Quick Tip. Seeing undeposited funds on your balance sheet, that's a holding account. But if it's growing over time, its assigned payments aren't being deposited properly. This can cause overstated income. We just talked about how can you see? Do you understand how it would create overstated income? How if that account is growing on the balance sheet and the checking account is about growing on the balance sheet, it's going to look like you have double the amount of money, okay? So that's why you don't add both, you move the one to the other. So important that you understand that. Okay. This can cause overstated income and messy reports. The fix is simple. Once you know what to look for, want to clean it up, I can help. Okay. So that is a marketing prompt. That is a prompt that you can use however you want to use it. You can use it as just an image. You can put it in Canva and make it pretty, or you can have ChatGPT actually create the image like Mike showed you last night. You can put it in ChatGPT and create a little script to talk about on YouTube video. You can take the exercise that you just did with me today and go through and create a little video to put on YouTube, or create on Loom and put it on LinkedIn or whatever. There are so many ways for you to demonstrate your expertise. Now, I want to tell you how I came up with this marketing prompt. And actually, I don't have it on the screen here. Lindsay will put in the chat the ChatGPT. When I first created all these marketing prompts, I wrote them myself. Okay, I just wrote them myself. And then I don't know how long ago it was, guys. I don't know. I was tired, or I was thinking about ChatGPT. I was like, I wonder how it would work if I put it in ChatGPT. And so that's what I did. And it took a while. So this one I want to show you. Now, some of the ones in the past, I have just taken it exactly what it said, but I want to show you the conversation that I had with ChatGPT about this particular prompt, okay? And this, by the way, this is what we're going to be talking about on our next webinar, is about AI and how you can interact with AI and how you can position yourself so that you're AI proof. Okay, so here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing about AI. Like, this is the thing I should be talking to. I should not be little looking at you, but I also don't want to stop my screen share. All right, I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, guys, this is so important. Okay, AI is not perfect. Is it helpful? Oh my gosh, it's so helpful, but it's not perfect. And it doesn't know what you know. You have to be the one, to direct it. You have to know what good looks like. You have to know what it should be, so that when you get information from it, you can evaluate whether it's given you the right answer. There's only one way to do that. You have to know your stuff. You have to know your stuff. Okay, all right, let me screen share again. Anyway, once you know your stuff, then you can recognize whether it's good or not. Okay, so here's the one that I put in today. And I showed you, or last night, for those of you who were on the call, I talked about how you can just upload a PDF and it will read the PDF. I'm just posting I put the link to the exercise, and it can go and it can read it. Sometimes I have found that it has trouble reading a link, but in this case it took it. Okay, so this is starting today. I've given you my whole thread for months at a time. What I do is I just I share it, and then I click the share button, and then I update the link. And so when I do that, it will give you the most recent version of my conversation. Okay, so I put the link in here, and I said, because the exercise doesn't really talk about the problem of doing undeposited funds wrong. And I wanted my marketing prompt to include that, because I wanted the business owners to recognize that it's a problem. Okay, so I put in the link. Okay, here's the link, and I said, please mention how a lot of business owners let this pile up, but realizing what it's for and causing overstated income. Okay. Not realizing what it's for. But see, AI knew what I meant. I was supposed to say, all right. Anyway, so here's what it came up with. Here was the first one. Okay. QBO Quick Tip. Got a mountain of payments sitting in undeposited funds. You're not alone. It's one of the most overlooked and misunderstood spots in QuickBooks, but letting it pile up can lead to duplicate income and overstated sales. Once you understand what it's for, it's easy to clean up and keep your books accurate. Need help making sense of it? I'm here for it. Okay? But I did not like that prompt. I didn't like it because it said, got a mountain of payments sitting in undeposited funds. Well, the business owner they don't know what undeposited funds is, right? They might see a number, they might see a huge number in undeposited funds, but they're not going to know that those are payments, okay? So I was like, yeah, that one's not going to be that's not going to work. So I said, I like it, but they're not going to know to check it. We need to say something about seeing it on the balance sheet, okay? So it revised it. One of the things I love about ChatGPT, it is so stinking friendly. It's so friendly, and it's so friendly and encouraging. It's absolutely, great point. You're totally right. So I love it. I love it so much. Anyway, so here's the revised one that they gave me. Okay, QBO Quick Tip. Ever noticed a weirdly high number called undeposited funds on your balance sheet? You're not alone, etc., etc. Okay. Well, how is a business owner going to know that a number is weirdly high? Okay? They don't know. You're the expert. You're the expert. They're not going to know well, that's a weirdly high number. They don't care. They're out installing plumbing or selling houses or whatever. They're not they're not looking at the books and going, that's a weirdly high number. Okay, can you understand how like you have to be like the translator and you have to be the one that is like having this conversation? So that's what I said to her. It's like, well, the business owner's not going to know. It's not going, oh, see, look at my typing is so bad. Okay, that it's weirdly high. Okay, yeah. And so then he says, you're totally right. They won't know it's weird, but they might spot it and not realize it's a problem. So then that's when it rewrote it again, and that's the one that I gave you. Okay, so do you see how you can use this as a tool to position yourself as an expert? Okay, first of all, you have to be the expert. Okay, so you have to be the expert, number one. Number two, you have to like be the expert with the AI, and you have to be the expert like for the business owners. Okay, so all right, I think I have exhausted everything I was going to say. All right, let me go to the chat and see what is happening. All right, let's see. Oh, but we certainly could. Margie explains it so well. I don't know what we could do, but I think you were talking about debits and credits. Let's see. More stuff about debits and credits. The paper thing. Okay. Oh, this is awesome. So Jean Marie says, I attended last night. I have attended many free calls. I don't know if I've ever walked away with as many actionable ideas. Thank you. Oh, that's awesome. Lindsay, will you snag that and send that to Mike? That's awesome. Linda says, Wheel of Doom. Yes, that was what Mike was saying last night, is that it doesn't matter, like it doesn't matter how good you are. Like if you get marketing clients, but then you suck at being a bookkeeper, then it doesn't do you any good. So let's see. So that's the quick tip. I think we need to change the Zoom setting for your account because people, oh, this was a direct message to me. Sorry, Lindsay. I don't know what that means. Okay. Is it okay to use the term QBO Quick Tip? Wasn't sure if that was a term we could share. Yes. What Intuit wants to avoid is they want to avoid you representing yourself as an employee or of QuickBooks. That's what the rules are for. But I don't see any issue with saying like this is a tip about QuickBooks Online. I mean, Hector Garcia has like the biggest YouTube channel for QuickBooks on YouTube, and he uses the logo and he says QuickBooks and all that. So yeah, I don't think that's an issue. Let's see. Yeah, Lindsay says she's been using it for months. Okay. All right. Funny note. OpenAI CEO has said it cost them, oh yeah, I saw that too. It cost them tens of millions to pay the energy costs that come from people saying thank you. Yes, that's true. However, I attended a conference where there was an AI expert lady, and she said that apparently if you use the terms please and thank you, you get better results. So yeah, even though it costs tens of millions, I'm still going to keep doing it. Yeah, Lindsay says, ChatGPT is polite to me. I'm going to be polite back. I don't care if it costs money. Yes, I feel the same. All right, let's see. Chris says, I love that you're walking us through how to use ChatGPT to provide these prompts. I'm learning from how you do this. Excellent. That's good. That's why I'm talking about it. Debbie is asking about the replay. Yes, the replay will be available through, I think it's Sunday. I think it's Sunday night. After that, it's going to be only in the Getting Clients cohort materials. Speaking of the Getting Clients cohort, I should have mentioned this before. So those of you who were on the call what did I just do? What did I do? Okay, so those of you who were on the call, we talked about the Getting Clients cohort. That was the bonus for anybody who is thinking about getting Fast Track. We threw in for anybody, it's for the next 72 hours. Again, I think 70, I don't know the math. Is that Sunday? Yeah. So anybody who buys Fast Track is also getting the Getting Clients cohort. The Getting Clients cohort is an opportunity for you. I mean, yes, it has marketing stuff in it. We teach our 3-2-1 method, and Lindsay has a great thing in there about Canva. We're going to be adding a thing in there about Alignable soon. But it's not about the marketing materials. And we're going to throw in all of Mike's stuff from last night. That's going to be in the Getting Clients cohort too. But the thing about the cohort is not the marketing materials, it is the group support. So you can, as a member of the cohort, you all work together as a group to uplift and encourage each other to stay with your daily tasks, check in, make sure you're doing the things. And there is a mindset program that's part of it that helps you like ease out of your comfort zone. So my friend Stacy Lauren has allowed us to use her program, which she has something called comfort circles, where you just step out a little bit more with the encouragement of the group. Like that's really the magic, is the group dynamic of people working together, everybody working to get clients. So Lindsay, I think if she hasn't already, she is going to put that in the chat. If you want to join, May is already gone, but is already in progress, but you can join for the June cohort. And if you buy Fast Track by like this weekend, I don't know what the cutoff is, like based on like whatever we did last night. If you buy that, we're going to include the Getting Clients cohort, and you can use that Getting Clients cohort for June, July, or August. Okay. In order to be in the cohort, you have to be level 1 certified, because kind of like our whole thing is about promoting the fact that you are a QBO Pro Advisor. And so you have to be a QBO Pro Advisor to be in the cohort. And so a part of the package that we did last night was you get the Fast Track, we're going to give you the cohort, and then we're also going to give you a coupon to get our level 1 companion, so you can actually get that also. So that was the deal last night. But if you don't want those, or you already have Fast Track or whatever, you can get you can just get the cohort separately. You can get the level 1 sort of, the point is to get moving. All right, let's see. What other questions do we have? Replay, yes. Okay, let's see. I finished level 1 and now want to begin joining the FB. I don't know what that means. Facebook and gym. Help needed. I don't understand your question, Tarhanda. But the links for anything that you need to do to sign up, Lindsay has put them in the chat. Let's see. I say please and thank you, and it is polite back, I know. Oh, Lindsay says alignable training is currently in there. That's excellent. So anybody who is in the cohort gets that alignable training. Also, if you previously joined the cohort, you still have access to all those materials, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So Lindsay gave a link to the cohort. Deb says, Margie and Lindsay have created such an encouraging group across all the platforms. Incredible. Aww. There is so much good-heartedness in this group that I have teared up more than once. Oh, Deb. Oh. Alrighty. Deb says, I'm certifiable at level 100. Okay. Now I just need to take my tests for ProAdvisor. Okay. Yeah, excellent. Let's see. When will we hear what some bookkeepers do that accountants have said isn't? This is a reference to something I said last night, Lisa. So last night I mentioned that that we had this week we had our monthly call with our tax advisory council, and they said that there was one thing that if they look at the books that like they'll know instantly whether you know what you're doing. And I was like, oh, and I mentioned it last night, but I refused to say what it was. Lee said that will be revealed in Fast Track. So I don't know if you're in Fast Track, but that's where it's going to be revealed. That's funny. Rosie says, I like that, Margie, to get moving. Yes, to get moving. All right. Let's see. Do you offer other bundles? I'm already taking Fast Track and interested in cohort level 2 and payroll. Do you offer flexible bundles for education courses? So the best thing to do is to schedule time you can either write into support or schedule time with our team to talk about what courses you need when, like what you have already and what you need, and put everything together. I don't know off the top of my head like all the different courses, and yeah, Lindsay just put it in the chat. That you can meet with Anthony. He can walk you through all of that, see what you still need, see what kind of packages are available, all of that stuff. So that's really the best thing for you, Lauren. Okay. There is a bundle for level 2 and payroll. Thank you, Lindsay. Lindsay also put some more information about like discounts and stuff, the link. Okay. And yeah, it deals with equity. That's like, yes, it's the thing that I was saying that the council said, yes, if we see this one thing, it has to do with the equity. So it's in the equity section. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I think I've covered everything in the chat. And look, it's not even an hour and a half. Sometimes these calls, like people come on the calls and they're like, when is this going to be over? And, I just talk a really long time. It happened to be kind of a short exercise today, which is probably why. But then, but also, like for those of you who were on the call last night, you guys learned so much. I didn't even have to say any of that stuff. So, all right. So I think we are good to go. Anyone who is in the Richmond area and wants to hear me sing tomorrow, then email support@acadian.com. We'll get you the directions for this concert that I'm participating in. I don't have a solo or anything. I'm just in the choir this time around. But, if you're looking for something to do Saturday night, then, yeah. All right. Let's see. Mention to people. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I said this, but I'll say it again, that if you were previously in the Getting Clients cohort, then the new alignable training, as well as all the stuff from Mike, is going to be in the prep work course. So it's there. Claire, where do we find the link to listen to last night again? It was emailed this morning. I don't know if Lindsay put that in the chat. It was emailed in the newsletter. So if you do not get the email, if you do not get the newsletter, by the way, who here got the newsletter this morning and noticed our new title? This is Mike's idea, was to have a title for the newsletter, and I'm the one that came up with the title. Well, me, and with the help of ChatGPT. Did you notice it? Chris said I saw the new title. I love it. I love it so much. I sent it to Mike. Mike had a different title suggestion, and I said, how about this instead? And he's like, oh, I love it. It's so on brand. So yeah, so the new title of our newsletter is The Big Aha. The Big Aha, Acadian Highlights and Announcements. So anyway, yes, the 900 plus accountants, that's the subject title. Because that had to do with the, I guess I didn't say it on Friday. I guess I said it on the call last night. But yeah, so 2 of my team members went to the BDO Alliance conference earlier this week, and talked. There were over 900 accountants there, and he asked them, this is great, actually I should have said this was great. So they asked them, how many times do you receive books from the bookkeepers that are all ready to go? And universally the answer was never. So one of my team members said, I don't think I heard a single person ever give me an answer other than never. It was never. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing here. That's what we do in Fast Track. That's what we're building. We're building bookkeepers that accountants want to work with, because you're handing over books that are so clean and that they are in the way that they want to receive them, that's going to make their job easier. Accountants are hurting, guys. They are hurting. Very few. If you hear talk about to accountants, you hear about the pipeline crisis. The pipeline crisis is that very few people are entering the profession. Like the number of people entering the profession has dramatically dropped, and the number of people exiting the profession has dramatically increased. And so there is a crisis happening where a number of available accountants to do the work is shrinking. And so the ones that are left are completely swamped, overwhelmed, stressed out. And if they get books that they then have to spend time, cleaning up or having questions answered or getting things right, and it just adds to their stress. Our job, our mission, what we're trying to do here at Acadian is we are trying to alleviate that pressure. We're not turning you into accountants. We're turning you into bookkeepers who can alleviate that pressure, who can take some of the workload and let them live in their zone of genius while you get everything organized and ready for them, and to be able to hand it over to. And the only way you can do that is if you actually know what you're doing, and if you understand what they want, and you have a communication with them. Be good. I want you to not be good. I want you to be great. I want you to be so head and shoulders above everybody else that people refuse to work with anyone who's not an Acadian graduate. That's how good I need you to be. You need to be that good. It's not just that I want you to be that good. It's that you need to be that good. The world needs you. I can no longer tolerate you being mediocre. You have to step up. All right, there's Spicy Margie for you. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see. All right, people are having trouble with the links in the bonus resources still, so we're trying to get that squared away. And anyway, so all right. Yes, I want the newsletter. I will not stop until I fix my email to get it. All right, awesome. All right, guys, that's it. I'm going to get off my soapbox. You guys have a fantastic weekend, and I can't wait to hear your success story.